I'm Barbara Dorsey. Just a little bit of history. I graduated with my Bachelor of Science in 2012. I am a physical therapist assistant since 1998. I've been a massage therapist 28 years, and I continue in that practice. I have not found a niche in the medical world. I'm going to make one. I am working toward my lymphatic certification, which allows your body, your lymphatic system removes the waste. And what I've seen in my family is 2 sisters, my mother, my grandmother, my brother-in-law, my uncle, all had breast cancer. And so I started doing research. And this is what I do. I'm a nurse. I'm a patient advocate. I will go hunt and find the information. But basically, nobody's treating any of them. In the varying degrees, some of them have already passed away. But we've learned that 3 to 5 times a week, anybody that has a breast should be treating their own 3 to 5 times a week. Nobody's being educated. So as I get my certification, I will be stepping up, going to health departments, teaching them, going into the community, wherever. Some of the states have really odd laws. Virginia doesn't allow a massage therapist to touch a breast. It's a sex organ. So they're not allowed, and they've got the highest degree of education. It's very odd. As a massage therapist, I'm halfway through my certification. It's very extensive. They don't require background checks to get into the education, but it is so stringent of what you need to know of anatomy, you're not going to buffalo anybody. So how did I get into all of this? It's kind of strange the way I've gone about it, but basically in 1981 I broke my neck. And I chipped my vertebrae, and the first hospital actually had me walking around. I couldn't hear. I had lost my hearing on one side, and I had no idea what's going on. I wasn't considered a participant. I was 18, but they didn't interact with me. And so I had to learn how to heal. I came across people like Louise Hay, who taught You Can Heal Your Life. And I worked with her. And I live in her books with the affirmations. But they're all custom made to each one of us. And as I healed through that one, I had another one. Because I kept trying to go in an avenue that obviously wasn't meant for me. And so I became handicapped again. And I had a black foot. It didn't straighten and it didn't work. And I said, please cut it off. Really, I've had enough. And I even died on an operating table where I watched what they did from above, and I told the doctor about it. And he just patted my hand and said, we won't talk about that right now. That's when I learned how to start speaking up for myself, because I said it was a decision I made. Go on, come back. I chose to come back because this huge communication said, either way, you got a lot of work to do. So that was really clear. So I have just gone about getting more education. I've been back and forth. It's not an alternative field anymore. It's adjunctive. These are the things that are getting left out, that needs to be custom made for each person. Of where are they? I do structural integration, which looks at everything. I work every single part of the person and restructure them through their connective tissue. That's not enough for me. It's not. Because now I'm learning the visceral and the organ work. Because when any trauma or even emotional things that go on, the soft tissue organs react first. The restriction's there, then it affects our structure. So that's the physical end. There's the emotional end, and there's a spiritual component that we're not addressing. And it's universal. Everybody's got a spiritual component, and nobody wants to talk about it. There's not words. We don't agree on words. So I came across Tsukyo Mahikari, which is a Japanese organization of radiating light. We don't care whether people believe in it. We don't care whether they even come back tomorrow. It's nice if they do, but it purifies the spiritual aspect. And from what I've seen from my family members, of some that have healed with cancer and some that have died, we've got to do the work to heal the physical part, the mental aspect, and the spiritual components to get it all away. And I've seen people be able to process cancer. I've seen essential oils. I study the chemistry of that. It's crazy. If I didn't have my nursing background, I could not articulate and verbalize the chemistry of what's changing and why if you have seizures, you shouldn't use this. That excitement in the brain will be too much and they'll have more seizures around some oils. So if we don't have the background to speak about it, we have no structure in our country. So literally, if you have a serious problem, you might need to leave the United States if you really want to get treated. And I don't know, I'm not going to go up against the FDA. I can't, I'm one person. But I can educate anybody who's interested. And there's multitudes of ways. Not every way works for anybody. Pick a place and start. We all need to breathe, to move, and to find some happiness in order to really prosper and grow. And so each person will find and show us what is your limiting belief your whole lifetime. You're going to find your keys to the doors that aren't even locked, but that's where you're going to find it. And so each person will come and eventually it comes out. And that's our whole mission, to support each other in growing in what works. And I don't know how it's going to work, but it does. Because when I go in the field in the nursing, they're picking my brains. Well, what do you have that'll help people sleep better? Well, what will help me to calm my mind? Well, what will help this person in a coma? And some of them are really to start the ball rolling. Peace and calm is an oil. It's in the bag. Take a smell of it later. There's oils that handle cancer. Not one. Your body will adapt to it. You need to keep processing it. Work wherever you start. Pick a place. I'll do whatever I can to support our country and anybody who wants to start on themselves. That's pretty much all I have.